close the rest of the
Okay, by the way, I can see the we are on live now. Just 5 seconds ago. Just 5 seconds ago, we are already live now.
Okay, yes, we're live. Okay. Right. Okay, all good. Adrian, this time no hat already,
Huh?
No hat already,
Didn't wear. You want me wear?
No, because previous time see you wear, ma. This time no.
Previous time hair very long, very messy, man.
Oh, yeah lah, that's true. That's true.
I guess this time is a little bit longer compared to last time. Just a guess.
Yeah.
Okay, by the way, Darren is joining in.
Yeah, I see his
He
to a moment
just
ago.
went out.
So by the way, how are you guys doing this periods? It has been since I guess 1 or 2 weeks we haven't really been meet with others.
Yeah.
Well, just continue to work from home for me.
Hello.
You can see my hair actually quite long now.
Work from home.
I guess.
See some funny news.
Yes. Okay, that's
funny,
great.
Funny.
That is
yellow
great.
to black.
Yellow to gray. Okay, I can sense that. By the way, Daniel, I guess most of us is the hair will be grow longer and longer across the times. Yes. I would say that the demand on the barber is getting higher now. So hopefully the CMCO is to be lifted soon.
And allow the barber to open, huh?
Yeah. Okay, now
Actually,
Darren
bubble
is.
tea.
Yeah. And now Darren is with us. Hi, Darren.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
A little bit soft.
A little bit
A
soft.
little bit soft. Yeah, because my headphones spoil and I'm using right now a wireless kind of headphone as a replacement headphone that's under Samsung. So yeah, it's the kind where hold on, I'm trying to figure out where's the hole for the microphone. If I speak like this, is it louder?
I can okay. I can sense, I can hear a little bit distortions from your side. So it'll be better if we can get to the place that we where your voice is clearer.
Okay. I think the distortion is because I'm trying to adjust the earbud.
Now it's good. Yeah.
Now it's good.
Much more better.
Okay.
Loud and clear.
Hold on.
Loud and clear.
Okay. Hold on, I'm trying to make more adjustment. Testing. I don't think I can hear anything from you guys.
Hello, you can hear me? You can hear Adrian? Adrian speak something just now.
Yes. Hold on. It's very strange. Okay, I think it should be all right now.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Yeah.
So
by the way, that's an interesting picture that you had there, Terry. The guy with 2 hands pressing on his head. my head's gonna burst.
Daniel, is there any
Oh.
other apps that is running on your laptop?
I'm lagging. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, guys, 1 more minute. We're going to
Terry
start.
suddenly very soft.
Now it's still soft.
Yes, just a very clear one. Now why soft turns
Okay, what about now?
still kind of soft compared to previously.
Still kind of soft. Is it now still in the soft mode?
Nothing changed.
Nothing
It's
changed.
still soft, Terry.
Okay, so let's with this. What about this? What about it? Is it sound
Yeah, yes. Now put
clear?
fantastic. Yes.
Okay.
All
Fantastic.
set, go.
Good evening,
Yes.
everyone. So today it's my honor to become your moderator for tonight. So tonight we have some very interesting topics to discuss about our member and partners. And here I would like to introduce my partner here. So first of all, is my dear partner Adrian. Hi, Adrian.
Hi.
Yeah, and of course my another dear partner is Daniel.
Hello. Hello again.
Yeah, and our dear Evan is on the line as well. And due to some technical problems, so we are still grateful that we are still able to have his on with us tonight. And Richard is going to be joining us soon later. So as what you can see now, and the topic that we're talking about tonight is about my biggest investment mistakes and lessons. So talking about this, right? Each of us have different experience, and some of us are beginner, some of us is already go through with the investment experience in share markets for a few years, and some is even longer than that. And go out through the years, different person have different experience, have earning different lessons, and for me, like hearing people sharing, talking about their experience in stock markets always give me some insight about what is the lesson that they really gain, whether is in the stock market is in bullish or whether your market is in bearish or sideways. I strongly believe that each of the opinion is very valuable throughout their experience. I hope that you can gain some insight and hopefully you can learn from to get some kind of experience for each of them. So let's start. So talking about investment, right? So today is mainly experience in investment in stock market. So Adrian, I believe you have quite a number of experience in the stock market. So would you like to share with us what is some of your experience or what is your mistakes go through years of investment in the stock market?
Okay, all right. Thank you, Terry, for your introduction. I believe everyone, every investment journey in everyone, in all of individuals must make some mistake one. Because if you say you never make mistake, this for me is bullshit. So for me, right, actually, each of the mistake is very valuable to me because I don't see myself as a very great stock picker, and all the stock picker success today is because of my past failed mistake and failed investment. So I believe one of my investment philosophy is I believe the big fail game. I mean in the market, right? Not many people willing to learn from mistake, learn from the lesson. Instead, they want to learn the winning recipe. For me, I believe learn from the mistake is more important to learn the winning recipe. So today I will be going to show one of my investment biggest mistake along my investing journey about almost 10 years already. And this one largest investment mistake, right? Also made me huge one of the very huge loss in my early years. So I will show this investment mistake today. And this investment is took place on 2016 around June, I believe. So, and at 2016 June, right? This company is a Hong Kong company listed in Hong Kong, and the price I buy in during 2016 is around 1.4 Hong Kong dollar. And then actually after I buy in, after 2 months, right, the company share price shoot up almost 70%. I mean not bad now. Once you buy within 2 months, shoot up 70%. Not many investment out there provide this impressive return in such a short term. But guess what, right? Before I telling you what happened next, I will tell you what is this company business model about. This company business, right, is a Chinese largest organic milk producer, and most of its operation is in Inner Mongolia. The CEO has been working for the CEO previous experience is working in one of the largest milk company in China, which is called Mengniu, Inner Mongolia Mengniu. If you guys heard about it, and I think it's quite well known today in everywhere in supermarket or in any convenience store. Hey, but this is not about Mengniu. The CEO is the experience bring forward to operate this company. And this company during that year, 2016, the gross profit margin is around 40%, ROE, return of equity, 18%. The cash conversion cycle, right, negative 120 days. And then the revenue growth compared to last year is going about 70%. But with all this impressive result, right, the PE ratio is only 14 times. Okay, if you see this kind of result, but the PE ratio is 14 times, it's like you just buy only. This is the time where I come in making the decision buying into this company. But who knows, after a year later, in the mid of, I think, in the early of 2017, when the 2017 year-end result coming out, right, the company start dropping. Until today, right, since the 2017 until now, right, the company's share price has been dropped, has been plunged more than 90%. Yes, you are correct. It's 90%. But it's one of the good things is I cut loss early. I cut loss at I think in the first quarter of 2017, I already cut loss to further prevent my capital loss until 90%. So
that's
what happened?
Fast.
So that is what happened. What happened in this company? First of all, the 2017 result, the company report the revenue loss of 47%, and this also lead to negative profit 200%. And the CEO give a very lame excuses. He say due to the weather change in weather, the cow is dead. Then that's why there is no cow produce good quality milk. But what is going to happen? End of 2017, the CEO resigned already. So it's everything mixed together. It's really fishy. So what happened? But what I saying right is already after effect, meaning the share price already plunged. But before that, how are we going to prevent this kind of things to happen in future? Meaning, what buying or you before the share price plunge, you already exit. What can you do? First of all, I review back my mistake, and then during the year, right, this company report a biological asset of, I mean, during the 2016 balance sheet, right? This is what I ignore already. During the balance sheet, right, the biological asset of this company is more than total asset 50%. What is meant by biological asset? Biological asset meaning the cow. They raise the cow, they capitalize this cow as the company asset. But how you value a cow worth how many? You value a cow, this cow 1 million, the cow 500,000. How can you value? It's impossible value. But and then some more this company total asset is more than half of it is come from this cow, not other asset, not cash, not land, not other. And then what happened just now? You remember I mentioned the cash conversion of this company is negative 120 days, right? But if you look carefully, right, it's because they drag the payable days. They drag the payable days almost 3 years, 600 days to make the cash conversion negative. So if all these things, right, if you early to detect this red flag, right, you can avoid this kind of company. This is one of my largest lessons. That's why after this, right, I took this very seriously into accounting fraud. And then the other two lessons is the company product, you need to do some scuttlebutt. That's why during 2017, I actually fly to Beijing with my wife. I actually go and scuttlebutt this company product, and I found the inventory share is I mean this company is not available in all the supermarkets in China, and it's very hard to find. So it means that this company product is not really really well known after all. And I found and I eventually found it and buy. You see in the screen I'm showing this. This is the only one I left since then, since 2016 until now, because I buy it to remember my mistake until today. So wherever I look at it, I remember what mistake I made. This is the one of the very biggest mistake I made, and I hope you learn from it and learn from my journey as well. So in order to avoid all this mistake in future, I think maybe I pass back to Terry. Terry can give me can you continue the presentation?
Well, thank you for the sharing. I believe that it leaves a quite impact to your investment journey, that such a that you are be very cautious of and you're aware about it and take some measurements and to make sure that it's to remind you every time you make some investment decisions. I believe it's quite big impact to you. And what about the Daniel with us? Are you can you share some insight with us? What are your biggest investment mistakes and lessons throughout your investment journey till date?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Terry. Yes. You can hear me, right? Okay, good. So for me, right, I mean, for me, I actually enter one of these company in my early days of investment. That time was also, I think, 2017, 3 years from now. I stumbled across this company. I mean, in one of those crashes for this company. It is actually a Malaysia company, and the moment when you get in, I think I get in was about 4 cent Malaysia ringgit at that time. And the moment you get in, you can almost immediately get about 25% up or even more. I mean, potentially it can be even more than 10 times of the share price, the kind of word, if the asset is true. Now, the key point is if the asset is true. So that time when I get to know this company, I mean, I was actually on the urge to ride the wave. So that's why I entered. So what is this company? This company is actually doing selling sports equipment in Malaysia. So sorry, in China and Hong Kong, but listed in Malaysia. Now that's already a fishy thing, right? So, but I don't really care at the time. So what it's doing is mainly selling sports equipment. Fact is, I didn't even scuttlebutt. I was just plainly looking at the numbers, and the numbers wow, it looks like it's gonna worth more than 10 times. And then another thing normally people would question when buying such a deep, cheap thing is that you would question why it is that cheap. I didn't question back then. I was simply seeing it as, hey, this is an opportunity. I mean, I should really just go in before it's too late. Seriously, people are gonna notify, and I'm gonna miss it. It's more than 10 times of gain. Why should I miss it? Okay. Little did I know that it's very hard to find more than 10 times return now. Okay. So yeah. So okay. So I went in, and eventually what happened? The share price is continue until now, continue to stuck at 0.055 cent.
Wow,
It means
that's
what?
impressive.
Yeah, from 4 cent to 5 cent. And I think that time is in the matter of 4 days, I think 3 or 4 days, 25% already. Imagine in 1 month. Okay. I don't want to do the extrapolate because it's no longer realistic. It has been stuck at 5.5 cent ever since then. Ever since 4 days after my investment, my so-called investment. Okay, I should put it as speculations, the right terms. But yes, suspended in a way, suspended forever. And imagine that kind of loss. That kind of loss would be, it's not just 90% like what Adrian will suffer. It is permanent 100% loss. You're not going to see your capital again. It's going to be locked in the stock market forever. If you happen to hold a paper stock like the old times, your paper stock, you can simply just throw into fire and burn it. It's not going to worth anything by now. Because what I eventually found out was that the pile of cash that make the market value to be priced at more than 10 times of the stock market, of the share price, is not there. It's simply not there. The company was actually facing problems with providing an audited report to report their financial year, and it continued to be suspended until now. So what can you learn from my mistake here? I mean, it's kind of stupid mistake when you look at the hindsight. Seriously, my God, I mean, he's 100% lost. Seriously, that time. What can you learn from here is that when you look at the company, I would really I would be very, very careful now to actually know that, hey, this is an auditor report, first thing, and to look at management behavior, because that gives you a hint on how do they I would simply say what is their motive of running this business? Is it to con the shareholder so that the shareholder comes in and invests and eventually is pulled away? There are many companies like that now. There are some companies like that. I'm sorry. Yeah. So it is. It becomes very important to me that, hey, it's not just about numbers, man. You look at numbers, yes, it looks fantastic. Price to book, damn cheap. PE, damn cheap. The time. I mean, judging by the numbers, I already told you it's more than 10 times, but that's not realistic. So we need to combine with the management analysis, and of course to know how is their business strength in this, for example, this company in sports industry. And until now, actually, I forgot to mention the name of the company. It is actually called Xingquan International Sports Holding Limited.
Yeah, we heard this before.
Yeah. You can see. You see, my brothers here are already telling me that, hey, this is a famous case right now. Yeah. So good to you, Daniel. Yeah, you went in and continue to start there. Yes. I admit that. Yeah, that's part of the I would say the right that actually built me until now. The very important thing. Yeah, the very important thing is from these mistakes. It is from these mistakes, and they will continue to remind me to be careful in future investment research and not just blindly go in because of this potential 10 times gain that you spot onto. You really need to be careful. Yeah, you really need to be careful on that. So I hope you pick up something from my sharing here, and I will pass it back to you, Terry. Terry, I think you're muted.
Yeah, sure. Great to hear some experience from you. So I believe we can also learn something about it. And next, what about our dear partner, Darren? Darren, are you there?
Hello, hi Terry.
Yes, yes. Great to have your voice. Yeah. So what about your side? Do you have some something to share with us?
Yes, quite a fair bit though, and just want to apologize for the technical issues on my side. As you can see, my name is appearing 3 times on the icons of the faces on the chatter's view. Anyway, I think for me it's a bit different. I guess for me the definition of mistake can be a bit subjective because it all depends on every individual's investment philosophy and also objective. During the early days when I was starting out to learn and to do and to try and error and to experiment on investment, the first mistake that I had was that I experienced was herd mentality. So it's like where you gather in a group of people and everyone's it's like this thing called FOMO, fear of missing out, and when everyone is doing this rah kind of propaganda or however you name it, right? And everyone just want to rush into the market for fear of missing the price that you want to get into. So that I felt wasn't the right thing that I did. It happened, a few times across various different stocks. And at the same time, I think I made a mistake on capital allocation because of the poor management of capital allocation. It resulted in an opportunity cost lah, where you back then I did not know how to assess a company properly, holistically, and as a result, putting a lot of money into the wrong bucket, or if not all into one bucket, and I lost it, especially in the first 2 attempts of investment. That I recall very vividly was in fact my first salary when I first started working. So that was how aggressive I was, because I tried to learn about investment since 4th year of university. So by the time I graduated and I started working, the first month salary, I just dump it all into one particular investment item back then, and very quickly I lost it all. Yeah, so those were the few things that I felt that it was really not the right thing to do, and the lesson that I learned from it is to be psychologically segregated, and must always have very objective viewpoint of our own investment, and not to be influenced by emotional factors, which is what drives the human behavior in the stock market, right? Because the 2 factors that drives the up and down of the stock market environment is greed and fear. And as we can learn, not just from my own experience, but also from Warren Buffett, for example, he segregate himself, live in a small city, right? And just do not want to be surrounded by all the noise, own investment judgment. Yeah, so for me it's really more on the psychological aspect. I learned to be very reserved in terms of my own viewpoint, my own emotional state, and I felt that the herd mentality thing is really something that blurs everyone's viewpoint. Then the second point for me was the capital allocation. There's always the question whether you are the highly convicted person who will invest a lot in one particular item and very little or next to nothing for many other different investment options. But I felt that in my case, back then, I guess the first step that I needed to do back then was to have an objective viewpoint before I choose to dump large portion of my investment into something that is that may not objectively be able to grow the next 3 to 5 years per se. Yeah, so these are some of the mistakes that I've went through lah. Yeah, so I hope from this you know what the audience and also the listeners will be able to capture is the importance of remaining calm and always take very good care of your internal environment. How so? By in my humble opinion is go for jogging consistently, or exercise consistently, so that you have a stable hormonal internal hormonal environment before you allow yourself to be influenced by any kind of emotional factors around you. Yeah, over to you, Terry.
Great. It is a great sharing from you. Now we get experience sharings from another side of our friends who is talking more about on psychology perspective. So next, Richard, are you with us?
Hello, Terry. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So will you have something interesting to share with us tonight?
Can I say no? Okay, you get my joke, huh? Okay. Interesting to share tonight about my experience. Would you like to hear positive stuff or negative stuff?
About mix.
It is whichever you think that is a thing that will benefit the audience.
Okay, then I share two. Very quick one. Share positive and negative in the sense where the direction goes up or goes down. Okay. Probably one that goes down first. In fact, it's actually just recent. You know, with the market going crazy and stuff like that, right? One of the I myself being also a coach and also studying about psychology and stuff like that. I'm also unfortunately also affected in terms of the mindset, especially during this period, which has affected me in terms of my decision making, in terms of certain decisions like to buy or sell certain stocks. Okay, so one of it is I can straight away share. One of it is actually the company called Paycom, and what happened was I actually did something interesting, which is I actually top up during the drop. So what happened is I actually top up extra in addition to what I've already have. I think was like 200 something, 230 or 220, something like that. Okay, and then and it went down even further. No, sorry, 240 plus like this. And I thought, okay, maybe that I can expect a sharp turnaround and stuff like that. What happened is that I did not expect is that this so-called recession is so severe that even my current cash flow income also got affected. And some of you might know that I'm pretty aggressive in terms of my investment approach, or in terms of how I allocate funds. So I'm actually very aggressive in terms of I don't really keep cash if possible. Whenever there is a way to allocate, I will put it somewhere else, whichever the asset lah. So what happens is I did that, and only then I found out that in terms of business wise, there are certain things that has started to slow down and affect me, and therefore I have to actually sell it at around 220 something, and that means I have to I'm like almost like margin call like that, you know. It's almost like margin call. Now look at Paypal share price today. Adrian knows because I actually gone through it with him in more detail. Not yeah, and yeah, look at Paypal share price today. It's 300.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you imagine if you do nothing at all, you actually won't be affected and you might actually gain income from it. So this simple thing, the lesson is don't what I really learned from it is don't overstretch yourself. Probably to have some kind of buffer to stand by for rainy days. Then again, right, over having too much buffer, right, then you don't have that kind of return. You actually have to lose out because let's say your capital is 100%, you only allocate 70%, let's say 70%. And then maybe you achieve let's say a 10 bagger, but then the 30%, because you did not go and allocate it, your 10x of so-called return now probably becomes 6 or 7x. So if you compound it or you think and apply it over time, right, it does affect. So I think a little bit of timing as well, a little bit of luck as well, and also most importantly, I think your own current active cash flow must be there, stable. This is word of advice from me. Number one. Number two, I think everyone also know this one is just now I shared is about down one. I can share another one is up one. I think everybody know at least the team here, they know that I spot Adrian want to point out I spot Bitcoin at what I think it was like is it $5 or something? Yeah, $5. And then after that, I didn't bother to do anything about it. I didn't bother to touch it. I don't care. I thought it's a scam. I've seen so many scams before. And then it went up. It went up to 20, 100 something, and still didn't bother. And until one point, it went up to about 20,000. So if you divide 20,000 by $5, right, it's about 4,000 times, 4,000. 4,000x. Alamak. What kind of return can you get with 4,000x? It's really nothing much lah. Okay, you don't tell me invest in stock. You want to get 4,000x within that few years. Seriously, quite rare lah. So that's really one extreme case that it really missed, and that's also because I'm being overly cautious. And now you see, being overly cautious, then I make this type of mistakes. Being too aggressive, I also make another kind of mistake. So yeah, these are my sharings lah. Okay, Terry, back to you. Thank you.
Okay, great. I hear some very insightful sharing from your side. And now let's come to the one of the last person to share today, which is myself. Okay, talking about myself, right? I would say that according to the past experience, one of the most biggest investment mistake that I have gone through is more or less to be on more to the psychological perspective, with the same with Devon. The only thing is the experience is that definitely is different. For my side is this is quite interesting because this is a company that all of my partner have been went through and we studied about it. And some of us is initially have quite, I would say, quite confident about the company in it. And there is this kind of, there are few companies that we have been going to have a visit on the side, and some of it I have not been met with the management before, but I'm quite believe that my partner has been shared a quite comprehensive study and research, and for me that I think for myself that I already get quite a amount of the information that useful for me, that is judgeable for me to make important decisions in the investment. And I would say that it will be more towards to the herd mentality, which is I follow the majority. And eventually, we will back to my investments on the past. When I really detailedly look into the company itself and think through it, not too details, but with a reasonable rationales. And most of the times, and I was able to make my investment a quite decent returns. But there will be sometimes that I choose to live on my peers or some of my partner, which is I think that the information is quite useful and insightful without I'm further validate it. And okay, I'm not saying that the information that my partner sharing is wrong. It's just that in some of the time that I tend to take a very large chance on the information from my peers. So I would say this is one of the biggest mistakes that I've done. And I see that in 2 to 3 past investment, I tend to make the same mistake. So, in just by today, one of the portfolio that I'm holding on and have gone through repeatedly thought, and finally I decided to let it go. And when I let it go, I finally get some relief because I think that my investment decision is justifiable, at least for now, because the company itself is quite good in terms of quality. It's just that in terms of variations, I really review on it. I actually bought in a quite expensive prices, and this is the price that I pay for it in terms of times, energy, and also money. And yeah, so lesson is that for me, I would say still do the studies as what I did as always. Getting a sharing and information from others is valuable, and with the considerate rationals, and I believe moving on, my investment.
Hey Terry,
is,
Terry,
yeah.
Terry, I just want to ask, right? I mean, as your partner, I'm also very curious. You've been trying to tease us for so long. My leg also wait until very long already. Actually, what's the what's the company? You make me so desperate. I have to ask you right away. On behalf of audience, I have to ask you also. Yeah.
Okay.
If you
I will review.
give me thanks.
Okay. One of it is a company who sell the insulation materials. We call it as a Superlon. Yeah. And another one is TechCycle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did visit that too, and they did seems promising that time.
Yeah, and I really think that during that moment, especially for TechCycle, we has been went through several real experience with the management, and have been going through some informations. And I think with that kind of piece of information and experience that I have on site, I think it's justified for me to invest on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt. I mean, you were halfway sharing about your mistakes and the lesson to be learned from this.
The lesson.
I let you continue from there.
Yeah, as so it's come back to the most common mistake. I would think that I actually has been like majority. I follow the herd mentality. Yeah, this is for me, and I believe majority. Quite a lot of people I have been get this mistake as most of the people, even that I have several years experience in investment as well. Sometimes I have this kind of mistake, and for me, it's more towards to the psychology perspective that whether I choose to really aware about it and take some measurements and to really aware about it for the coming investment, thoughtful considerations. So that's for me. And okay, so tonight I believe guys, we have been each learn from, or even maybe some of us has been get from each other some of the information, or maybe some of the things that we never get know from each other before. Okay, and To end this, I would like to give our audience a quote that I think it is quite matched with what we are sharing tonight, which is a man should never be ashamed to own he has been in the wrong, which is but saying that he is wiser today than he was yesterday. So this is one of the quotes that I would like to share with you guys, and hopefully that each of you can gain some insight or gain some valuable info from us, and we will looking forward to see you on the next sharing. Goodbye.
Okay.